Putin pledges a ceasefire in Ukraine if Kyiv withdraws from occupied regions and drops NATO bid.
Here's a summary of the article.
Donna Bartlett says she was overcome with emotion when standing earlier this week at the landfill where her granddaughter's remains were dumped more than 2 years ago. It was Bartlett's second time to the site where Marcin Smiron's remains are believed to be, and the first time she says she felt hopeful.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
These would include areas Moscow has never controlled during its 2-year invasion or from which it subsequently withdrew. Ukraine is highly unlikely to accept Putin's conditions, which would effectively give Russia control of 4 regions, Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk and Zaporizhia. That it not a peace offer but a capitulation that he knows Ukraine can't accept.
Thief to the victim. I won't steal from you if you give it to me and don't lock your doors.
After commit actual war crimes against the homeowners, mind you. This can all be over if you just give me the keys.
You move in the basement. The rest of the house is mine.
And this is just a ceasefire, so I'll be coming for the basement soon.
The basement is right because the territory Russian has occupied has oil and gas. Would we be willing to give up California to Russia right after we found gold in California?
Greater than would we be willing to give up California to Russia right after we found gold in California? I don't know about we, but there's Republicans that would be enthusiastic about it.
The grand old Putinites.
Occupied regions also means the regions where he barely managed to occupy anything like Zaporizhia and Kherson. So he wants Ukraine to surrender 2 major oblasts along with their capitals. One of those cities he managed to occupy in the beginning only to promptly lose again.
Also he pledges to a ceasefire, not the end of war, so he can regroup and attack again. His pledge is worth less than a fart in a wind.
He just wants Ukraine to cease firing missiles at Russia.
I think there's more to it than that. I think they just burned through the entire year's worth of conscripts trying to take Kyiv, again, before US aid started to arrive en masse. Now the year isn't half over yet and Russia doesn't have enough of anything. They're relying purely on bullshit and swinging the US elections to get through the year. The initiative and advantages could easily shift over to the Ukrainians.
Here's what Churchill had to say, looking back at a peace deal with Germany in 1940. I have thought carefully in these last days whether it was part of my duty to consider entering into negotiations with that man, Hitler. But it was idle to think that, if we tried to make peace now, we should get better terms than if we fought it out. The Germans would demand that would be called disarmament, our naval bases, and much else. We should become a slave state, though a British government which would be Hitler's puppet would be set up. Under Mosley or some such person. And where should W?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.